Last year, I completed 3 full Ironmans in under 12 months. All of my training took place while operating 2 very time-consuming businesses. And yes, I have a social life too. How do I have the energy to do all of this? Today, I'm telling you my secrets, but they aren't really secrets. They're super simple things that you can start doing too, literally today, as soon as you finish watching this video. In this video, I'll share my favorite ways to feel more energized beyond just avoiding the classic 2 p.m. slump. I'll skip the fluff and tell you exactly what you can do to have the best energy you've had since your college days, and maybe even better. And this isn't just personal advice based on my own experience. If you know me, you know that I like to go down the rabbit holes of everything health related, especially when it comes to diabetes and nutrition. All of what I'm about to tell you is evidence-based and has been proven true in the lives of thousands of people who have gone through the Mastering Diabetes coaching program. One of my favorite success stories is Tina. When Tina first found us, she had type 2 diabetes, chronic fatigue, and an A1C of 10.6%. But her biggest complaint was that she was tired all the time. Through Mastering Diabetes, she learned exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video. After putting it all into practice, she now has a non-diabetic A1C of 5.0%. She lost 54 pounds, and most importantly, she has tons of energy. So the first door to the time machine that Tina got to ride is a low-fat, plant-based, whole food diet. If you love carbs but have been trying to limit them, this might be the best day of your life, or tied with the birth of your first child. Because this approach allows you to eat as many carbs as you want. I ate 700 grams myself yesterday. Here's the simple breakdown. Low fat equals less than 15% of your daily calories coming from fat. Plant-based equals yes to plants, no to meat and dairy. Whole foods equals food in the most natural, unprocessed form, how it was grown in nature. Other than that, there are no limits. This means things like fruit, potatoes, rice and beans, and whole grain pasta can all be eaten in abundance. Have as much as you want. There are a few reasons why this works. The body's preferred source of energy is glucose. Glucose comes from carbohydrates. If you are limiting carbohydrates, then your body has to work extra hard to get the energy it needs. When you have an abundance of carbohydrates, you have usable energy just ready to go. Additionally, low-fat, plant-based whole foods are anti-inflammatory and easy to digest. This matters because lower inflammation means the body uses less energy to repair itself and therefore has more energy for daily activities. Similarly, the body spends a lot less energy digesting plant foods than animal foods, especially raw plant foods like fruits that are high in enzymes, fiber, and are naturally hydrating. And again, the less energy you spend digesting food, the more energy you have for other things, like doing an Ironman. Multiple studies and countless case studies have documented these effects. For example, a 2016 randomized controlled trial showed that a low-fat, plant-based diet significantly reduced fatigue in MS patients. And in a 2023 randomized controlled trial studying the effects of a plant-based diet in breast cancer patients, fatigue decreased from 57% to 28% in the intervention group and increased from 65% to 78% in the control group. Low-fat, plant-based whole foods also help to reverse insulin resistance and provide more stable blood glucose throughout the day, helping you to avoid the drain of going through the highs and lows. If you're living with diabetes like me, then you know just how this affects you. When you avoid hyper and hypoglycemia, you have more steady energy throughout the day. I started this video by talking about food because that's my tried and true top source of energy, the thing I focus on over everything else because it's just so powerful and effective. That being said, there are definitely lots of other factors that affect how energized you feel, so let's dive into a few more. I'm sure you've heard that caffeine gives you energy, but what is often failed to be mentioned here is that it also takes away your energy. So the second tip is to remove caffeine. Here's why. Caffeine is a stimulant drug, just like other stimulants. If you drink caffeine, you might feel awesome while the drug is in action, but then you often experience a major crash on the other side. So while that cup of coffee works in the short term, it actually makes you feel more tired in the end. And it gets worse. The more caffeine you consume, the more your body builds up a tolerance to it, meaning that you need increasingly higher levels of caffeine to get the same effects. This is usually coupled with ending up in a cycle of dependence in which you don't feel energized unless you have a dose. Outside of all of that, having caffeine negatively affects your sleep, which of course leads you to have less energy throughout the day. A 2017 meta-analysis of caffeine and sleep found that people who consumed caffeine typically took a longer time to fall asleep, had reduced sleep and sleep efficiency, and woke up feeling more tired the next day. Caffeine reduced slow wave sleep and led to increased wakefulness throughout the night. AKA, they had lower sleep scores and they could tell. So people think caffeine gives you energy, but it actually reduces your energy. And I have another surprise for you. People think that exercise makes you fatigued, but the truth is that it actually gives you more energy. A 2006 meta-analysis that included 70 studies of 6,807 participants found that people who exercise regularly report greater feelings of energy and less feelings of fatigue in comparison to those who don't exercise regularly. Why? There are actually a lot of reasons for this, but I'll just cover a few key ones today. First of all, exercise increases the flow of oxygen in your body and strengthens the heart, which allows more oxygen and nutrients to get to your cells and enables you to produce and use energy more efficiently. And if you've seen our video on Zone 2 exercise, then you'll know that exercise increases both the number and efficiency of mitochondria, which, if you remember from middle school, are the powerhouse of the cell, meaning that they are responsible for creating the energy your body can use. The more mitochondria you have, the more efficiently they work, the better your body can produce energy, and the more energized you will feel. A 2010 study showed that increased mitochondria were paired with an increase in insulin sensitivity, which is unsurprising, but still great news. Finally, studies have shown that exercise increases levels of endorphins and serotonin and induces antidepressant effects, all of which boost energy. The mind and body are inextricably tied, so happiness is healthy for you, which is also unsurprising, but great news. I like being happy, I like being healthy, and I like having lots of energy. I don't think I'm alone in any of that, and that's why I made this video. So if you want to join me, Tina, and tons of other people who have gone through the Mastering Diabetes program and having the best energy you've had in decades, these are the first 3 steps. Number 1, eat a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. Number 2, avoid caffeine. And number 3, exercise regularly. If you do these 3 things for at least 1 full month, your body will adjust to this new energy-boosting lifestyle and feel ready to take on life with a whole new zest. As I said before, changing the way you eat is my number 1 tip and my recommended first step. But I totally understand that can also be the most difficult step. The good news is you're not alone. My team and I at Mastering Diabetes created a free, foolproof guide for how to eat a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. It has 16 pages of expert advice, scientific research, and easy recipes to make food feel simple and straightforward. If you want a copy, click the link in the video notes below. Thanks for watching today. If this was helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe so you can get more tips to revolutionize your diabetes health.